Let us see how SAP Business One can be deployed for an order-to-cash cycle for the metal fabrication industry. Every new order in the metal fabrication industry will start with an inquiry which comes from the customer. So the customer would definitely give you the drawings or the specifications for which he requires a quote. SAP Business One has the DMS functionality. DMS stands for Document Management System, wherein all drawings given to you by the customer can be stored. Might it be a CAD drawing or a Pro-E drawing or any kind of drawing can be stored within the SAP system. Once the inquiry is created, the next functionality is estimation. So there's a quotation module wherein an estimation can be created. If you have an Excel file where the estimation is done, you can always attach the Excel file as reference to the estimation module, or you can replicate the Excel formulas or the Excel format in the estimation screen so that you don't have to have any third-party application like Excel. Both can be done. Once the estimation is completed, the final values of the estimation can be plugged into the quotation, and the quotation can be created in a layout or a format which is required as per the company's norms. Once the estimation is completed, the values available in the estimation can be brought forward to the quotation, and the quotations can be created. The quotation created can be subject to approval. So every transaction in SAP Business One basically has approval, which is nothing but there can be a maker and there can be a checker, or there can be multiple approvals. Approval are of two types in SAP Business One. You can have a workflow based approval wherein person A creates it, B approves it, C super approves it, and so on. There can be about 7-8 levels of approval. Or it can be a value based approval wherein you can have, say, quotations from 5 to 5,000 can go to person A, from 5,000 to 50,000 can go to person B, and 50,000 above can go to person C, and so on. So there are value based approval as well as workflow based approval, or you can even have a combination of both. Now these approvals can come to your own SAP screen on your laptop or desktop for approval, or it can even come on your mobile phones if you're using an iOS or Android. Once the approval is completed, it is time to convert the quote into a layout or into a particular format and send it to the customer. Now, SAP Business One has options where multiple layouts can be created. So you can have layouts by customer category, you can have layouts by industry category. So you can choose which layout you want to print the quote and you can send it to the customer. Not only that, you can have multiple terms and conditions also created. So you can choose which layout and which terms and conditions should go in, and when it gets printed out, so basically SAP has Crystal reports. So all your layouts are basically run on Crystal report. So you can have multiple choice of layouts and multiple choice of terms and conditions, and this will get printed on a Crystal report, which can be converted into a PDF and mailed to customer. The mailing service is also built into SAP, so you can integrate your SAP Business One with any kind of mail service provider, and you can send the quotations directly from inside SAP to your customer or prospect. Once the quote is sent, there might be multiple levels of discussion or revision. So all the discussions and its revision can also be maintained in SAP itself. So you can get to see what are the various revisions that has happened, and in each revision, what are the changes. You can even document the discussions that you had moving from one revision to other revision. Those are the major points about quote and its creation and its management in SAP Business One. So once the customer confirms the order, he generally would give you an order confirmation mail or a purchase order. Now that can be stored as a soft copy in the order confirmation screen or sales order screen of SAP Business One. This will help you to make sure that you document the PO sent by the customer or the mail sent by the customer as confirmation. And further to it, you can add the delivery dates, you can add the ship to bill to address, and if there are any payment terms like 30 days, 60 days, if there are any credit terms like 30, 60, 90, you can even add that. And finally have the order confirmation or the sales order posted in SAP Business One. The posting of an order confirmation in SAP Business One will trigger out alerts or mails to customer saying that the order has been confirmed and this will be the delivery date, and to internal people like production department, planning department, that there's a new order which has been received and these are the details of the order. Now if there's an advance payment requirement to the order that you have received, SAP Business One has a down payment feature which allows you to create a pro forma invoice followed by an advance payment request. This advance payment request hits the screen of accounts and they can create an advance payment invoice, and once the payment is made, the receipt for the payment received can be given to the customer and the invoice can be closed, and the intimations and the alerts and mails for these can go to the respective salespeople as well as customers. Now that the finished goods have been created, we'll go back to the order to cash cycle where it can be invoiced. The finished goods made available from plan to produce cycle is basically available and ready to be invoiced. So the pending sale order or open sale order can now be converted into an invoice, and during the invoice creation process, if there are batch numbers or serial number applicable, those can also be selected in the invoice. So what happens is, once the invoice is created, the invoice will also have the details of the serial number or batch number of the finished goods, and a complete traceability is also established. As in all the other features and functionalities, invoice is also approval based, so you can have multi-level approvals here. You can also have multiple layouts by customer group or by various industries, and multiple terms and conditions also. One path-breaking functionality, if I have to mention about SAP Business One, is Gross Profit Analyzer. Now this functionality helps you to review the profitability of an invoice before it is printed and sent to the customer. Now that's an eye-opener or an excellent functionality wherein you can ask a system like SAP Business One, what was the price at which I received the order? What was my production plan to achieve the price, and what was my actuals, and at the end of the invoice, what is the profitability that I'm getting? So you will get a stage-wise report of quoted versus planned versus actuals. Now this functionality in particular will help small and medium businesses to move from looking at the P&L at the end of the period to looking at your P&L at an invoice level. Not only that, if there is a compromise in profitability, you can drill down to find out where has the profitability been compromised. Is it in the procurement stage, or is it in the production stage? In production, is it because of excess of raw material, or is it because of excess manpower or repair? You can get to the exact point where the problem has occurred, which has compromised in the profitability. Now, this is the kind of functionality that every company requires to go to the next stage. Application like SAP gives you that kind of control and power. Once the invoice is sent to the customer aging starts. So if there's a credit term of 30, 60, 90, the customer aging cycle starts, and based on the due date, the system can basically generate an alert, or it can create a calendar, or it can even send a reminder to customer to pay the due payments. Once the payment is received from the customer, the incoming payment receipt is created and it can be mailed directly from SAP Business One to the customer. It's a PDF output which gets generated and gets mailed to the customer. Thanks for taking your time to watch this video, and look forward to meeting you in one more video.